Hey, it's Força Barça here, and today I'm going to discuss how French defender Samuel Umtiti went from being the world's most promising young defender to being an injury-prone player who has rarely gotten any playing time anymore over the last years. Samuel Umtiti came up through the youth ranks of Olympique Lyon, and eventually he made his debut for the French club in 2012. During his time at the French club, he cemented his place in the starting lineup and became one of their most important players. For that reason, the big clubs were interested in him, and Barcelona was eventually the one that signed him in 2016. This was an incredible signing back then. He was only 22 years old and he had all the traits that a Barcelona defender must have. He was a good passer who could distribute the ball out from the back, he was physical and no attacker wanted to face him, he was a threat in the box, you name it. For a total of 25 million euros, this definitely seemed to be good business. And in his first year for the Blaugrana, he immediately made a name for himself and established his place in the starting 11. He put in solid performances on a regular basis and often he would play in a 3 at the back alongside Mascherano and Piqué, since Barca manager Luis Enrique used the 3-4-3 formation a lot that season. He also picked up a little injury to his hamstring, which only ruled him out for about 20 days at the end of 2016. After his first season, Umtiti definitely seemed to be a great signing, and by then, his market value had already risen, so the 25 million Barca paid were surely worth it. Then, in the 2017-2018 season, he would be an unmissable player for Ernesto Valverde's Barca, and formed an unbreakable defense together with Gerard Piqué, who was still in his late prime. That season, Barcelona almost went unbeaten in La Liga, which was partly thanks to not conceding too many goals, which was also a merit of goalkeeper Marc-André ter Stegen, who was in his absolute prime. Barcelona's defense that year was probably the best we've seen in the last 5 years. But again, Umtiti had some injury problems. First, he had a muscle injury which ruled him out for about 50 days, and near the end of the season he had some knee problems. And this time he was on the sidelines for 2 weeks. It wasn't going to be the last time his knees would let him down. In 2018 he had improved a lot though, and by now he was starting to be amongst the best defenders in the world. That's why Barcelona president Bartomeu offered him a new 5-year deal in June. It was definitely not a dumb decision to put one of the world's most promising centre-backs under a new contract, but 5 years is a long time for someone who had already had some injury problems, and this would go on to haunt the club later on, and his wages were significant too. I mean, of course they were, it was Bartomeu who handed out the contract. After that club season had finished though, the World Cup of 2018 in Russia began, and Umtiti formed a solid centre-back pair together with Raphaël Varane for France. But he wasn't only a nightmare to play against for attackers, he made his contributions offensively as well. He was crucial to lead France past Belgium in the semi-finals, scoring the only goal of the game with a header. Eventually, Les Bleus won the tournament by beating Croatia in the final. Umtiti had been one of their star players, and at this moment he was truly amongst the best centre-backs in the world. People saw him as a stronghold at centre-back for Barcelona and France for the coming 5 to 10 years. He was only 24 years old, so he even still had time to improve. The future seemed to be bright. Little did the world know though that this was actually the best version of Umtiti that they were ever going to see, and that he was in his absolute prime right now. He had been playing with knee problems during the World Cup and he probably knew himself that it was smarter not to play. He did though, and eventually he did win the World Cup. But next season he would already get injured to his knee in September and he relapsed shortly after recovering. 2 injuries to his knee meant that he had missed a total of 28 games that season. He still played a part of it and hadn't declined that badly yet, but he also lost his place to Clément Lenglet, who was signed by Barcelona that summer, so he wasn't nearly as important for the Blaugrana as he had been the previous season. It definitely was a shame that he wasn't that reliable of an option anymore, since the Blaugrana's defense was less of a stronghold as it was previous year. But at this point, Barca fans hadn't completely written him off yet, and there was still some hope that he could make it. Next season though, he got injured again a couple of times, to his feet, then his knee again, and to his calves. Because of all these injury problems, he found it difficult to perform back to the level that he used to play at. Barcelona's main centre-back pair was Piqué, who was starting to decline, and Lenglet, who was decent but nowhere near the level that Umtiti could have been at if it wasn't for all those injuries. And so, the Blaugrana's defense was a weak point, next to a midfield without too many options and an attack that had to be carried by Messi. The Catalans slowly started to reach their very lowest points, and a Samuel Umtiti who was either injured or not at the level that he should be at was one of their problems now. Next season he got injured to his knee another 2 times and got COVID too. Now it was clear that we weren't going to see him back at the level he once used to play at ever again. He was rarely ever on the field, also because new defenders like Ronald Araujo and Oscar Mingueza came up from Barcelona's second team. He had really sacrificed his whole career to win that one World Cup with the French national team. At this point, everyone knew Barcelona had made a mistake in renewing him in 2018 on a 5-year-old deal on big wages, surely with the financial trouble that the Blaugrana were getting in now. Samuel Umtiti was nothing more than a financial burden who didn't offer anything anymore. He was stubborn though and never wanted to leave the club. There also wasn't a club that wanted him because of all the injuries, of course. The coming season, he rarely got any playing time, and when he did, it became clear that he had declined a lot and wasn't anywhere near the level expected from a Barcelona defender. And surprise surprise, he got injured to his toe too. He did sign a new contract until 2026 though, which seemed weird in the first place. But financially, this was a smart deal. The remaining wages that Umtiti would have gotten until 2023 were going to be spread out over a 4-year period until 2026. So Umtiti basically agreed to a big wage cut to help the club, and the contract was filled with huge bonuses in case he would perform well on the pitch in the coming years. This year, in the 2022-23 season, he will most likely still be at the club and train with the first team, but I don't expect him to have any significant influence in Barcelona's future, though he's still only 28 years old. It would be nice if he could stay injury-free and make an appearance here and there as a rotational player. That would be the best case scenario. He's not that necessary anymore as well though, since the Blaugrana defense is already looking stacked with options this season. Araujo, Koundé, Christensen, Eric Garcia and Gerard Piqué are all above him in Xavi's picking order. And then there's still some prospects from La Masia like Mika Marmol that might get some playing time above Samuel Umtiti. Just imagine how Barcelona's lowest years could have been different if Umtiti had never gotten injured. Their defense would have been more solid, and for that reason, humiliations against Liverpool and Bayern Munich might not have happened. It's true that he wasn't the team when they crumbled in Rome in 2018, but he would have improved by next year. Barcelona's Champions League count would probably have been 6 or more instead of 5, and the Blaugrana's La Liga supremacy of last decade might have never ended up till now. It's crazy to think that this player could very well have been the world's greatest defender by now. But here he is now, the player that has almost been forgotten by the football world, and even as a Barca fan, you sometimes forget that he's basically still an option as a centre back, surely with all of the new signings and the crazy summer transfer window that we're experiencing. It's an absolute shame the Frenchman never reached his full potential, and we'll see how much playing time he will get for the rest of his Barca career. That was it for today's video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and feel free to share your own opinion on Umtiti down in the comments below. Força Barça and have a good day.